welcome back, everyone. We are in for an exciting time this tutorial. We are doing Gen 7 RNG. We're going to be doing the stationary Wormhole Legends, and we are also going to be doing Ultra Beasts as well. They're kind of roughly the same thing, but we're going to be also showing off Timeline Leap, which is a way of kind of manipulating timelines, whereas before we've always kind of been like, okay, we need a timeline. We want to figure out what legends, what frames we can hit to make our dreams come true. Now I'm going to go over a method where you can skip all that and make any frame you want into your own particular timeline. So it's very powerful. It's also something that works best for the Wormhole Legends, just because of how they are. So we'll just get right to it. Right now, I've already gotten a save set up. I've gone to the wormhole. I don't want to explain the mechanics of the wormhole. Point is, there's a lot of legends in there. I've saved as close as you can possibly get to the legendary. In this case, it's Regice, which is disappointing because its shiny is also very difficult to tell, but there's still the telltale sparkles. Regardless, I've gotten as close as you can get. The downside to the legends themselves is that you have to actually make a step forward to start the encounter, as opposed to talking to something like with the Ultra Beasts. So that does throw a wrinkle into it, because if you save too far back, your delay is going to be a lot higher. So just keep that in mind. But we're going to be doing Timeline Leap this time, so we want whatever we can get. And ignore that this is set for fishing still, so go away fishing. Alright, so you see that we're at the title screen this time. We haven't gone in. We're at as early as we can be in regards to frames. And we're not going to worry about this creating timeline. Ignore it. Just completely ignore it. We're not creating a timeline. Yes, there is one NPC there. Again, we're not going to really care about it too much. Leave everything at default. So now we just want to explore this particular seed, which I don't actually have the right seed number in here. Let me get the seed up to date. Otherwise, that will give us bad results. Here we go. Seed up to date. So let's look for a shiny frame. All the legendaries. Make sure you get the stationary RNG tab. Choose whatever legendary you want. If you have a sync nature, make sure you have that. But these are all grayed out. It's always going to have 3 IVs. Thankfully, these are not shiny locked. It's never raining in there. It's always ability locked as well. And it's genderless. So just make sure you select the right Pokemon. It doesn't matter too much because they all pretty much follow the same thing. But the delay is different depending upon which Ultra Wilds you're in. But yep, make sure you get that selected right. They all have 3 IVs. Perfect IVs by default. And let's take a look. Let's see if there's one that's not too far away that we can get. I'm going to actually up this. Let's see. Can we find a 4 IV one? Yeah, we can. Yeah, okay. Alright. This one isn't too bad. It's not too far away. Hasty, quirky, relaxed, naive. Okay. Let's go for this one. So we're going to first thing first, set that as your target frame. Perfect. Alright, well, let's get into it. So, because we're going to be using Timeline Leap here, we can just go straight into the Festival Plaza to get as close as possible to our target frame. You want to still give maybe like a 3,000-ish frame window. You want to exit before that, because you got to actually set up the Timeline Leap. So, let's go ahead, hop in, and you can see I'm right there. So we're just going to go straight to Festival Plaza, and we're going to advance. And this shouldn't take very long, because we're only going for 16,000 frames, which sounds like a lot, but you can see we're already at 3,000. Alright, and we're going to wait here. So I'll probably drop out, let's drop out around 13,000. And then we'll get into the actual Timeline Leap of this. And it's going to become so fast that I'm not even going to cut away. We're just going to do this in one take. Hopefully. Alright, and we have just another 1,000 frames-ish to go. Perfect. Alright. So first things first, as soon as you pop out, open up your menu. The reason that you want to open up your menu, and I also stopped pause the frames so that I don't advance any further. But the reason you want to open up your menu is because if you leave your menu closed, your character fidgets, and that creates a whole lot of issues with your timelines. If you have your menu open, your character will just stand there and stare straight ahead with that dead-eyed stare that only Gen 7 characters can have. But there we go. So now we have it. And we're going to actually have to find a safe frame from where we are. So go ahead and put in your frame, your current frame. Clear out all this stuff. Safe frame only. Let's see. Perfect. We're actually at a safe frame already. So now you set that as your starting frame, which we already have it as your starting frame. And ignore this, select Timeline Leap, and ignore these, leave these the same. This is essentially the length of time between you closing the menu and actually engaging the Pokemon. And you want it to be fairly short. So this is between a 1 second gap to a 3 second gap. If the program can, it will always try to shoot around the 1 second mark. Change this to girl just because. Alright, calculate timeline leap. No result. Can we actually see that? No. Can't see that. There's an error message that popped up that says no result. That means that, and then nothing shows up. That means that the gap here is too short. It can't find a timeline leap that'll work. So I'm just going to increase this. Okay, great. So now I have a new prompt that shows up that unfortunately isn't visible, but you'll see it'll say hit A at frame 1 and then again at another frame 2. And then you can say yes to check the new timeline or no to check the spread. So I always say no first. And this brings up this. So this is just to make sure that it is in fact the right spread. Go away, Marks. Okay. This is just to make sure it is in fact the right spread. It looks good. If you don't see the spread that you were looking for, then you know that something was messed up. So now we just hit calculate, and then it'll say yes this time. So this may look familiar if you just watch the fishing video, and that's you see a frame 1 and you see a frame 2. And we're going to scroll all the way down, find where our target is. Perfect. Okay, so at frame 1, that's when you close the menu, and then at frame 2, that's when you step forward to engage the Pokemon. So that's essentially all there is to it. It's essentially fishing. But the difference is that with the timeline leap, when you close the menu, it changes the timeline that you're on. So now that target that we had, which might not have even worked in the past, will now be accessible to us. So that's all there is to it. We're advancing to 15882, and then we will go ahead and close the menu. So that's not too far away, so we'll just go ahead and close the screen, and we're going to advance to 15882. I'm going to speed things up a little bit, because now we're back to the 1 NPC territory. Yep, okay. Here we are, 15,000, so we just got to get to 882. And then after we close the menu, it's roughly a wait of like 6 seconds or so because of how this worked out, but it's okay. Almost there. 841. Now, one thing is that these legends, you probably will have to adjust your delay. I might not be right on target. I try to get as close as possible, but it's not an exact science. Alright. 80. 81. Alright, 15882. Yep, 15882. Great. So now we're going to hold the close menu button as opposed to A. We're going to hold close menu and advance to close out the menu. And now we just want to advance to 16254 because that's what our frame 2 is. And normally you're going a lot closer than that. It's like a second. So like you close the menu and almost immediately are you stepping forward, but this one's a little bit different. So I didn't get a perfect example, but we'll make it work. So yeah, here we go. And we're almost there. 210, 216. Oop. Yep. The tool decided to have a little bit of a twitch over there. Alright, 226. Alright, we are just a mere 10 frames away. Alright, 16254. You can see right there that frame 2 is 16254. So now we will hold up to take that step forward, and we will advance frames. Technically, at this point, you don't actually have to do it slowly. You can just hold up and then resume your emulation or unpause it entirely. But here we go. Battle's triggered. Let's see if we got it. No, we didn't get it. But that's okay. Alright, so let's see. 31-31, 17-3, 28-31. Careful nature. Alright, so let's bring up the tool here. We can see right here, this is where we ended up. Yeah, that's exactly it. So -8, so okay, we just -8 out of here. Yep, 148, recalculate that. We'll scroll back down to verify that it's right now. Yeah, okay, so unfortunately, because I didn't do any save states or anything, we're going to have to just do this again. So I'm going to go ahead and get things set up, and we'll just bring everything back when I am at the point where I step forward. Actually, we'll come back when I'm at the point where I've figured everything out again, so you can see another example of this. So I will see you in just a few minutes. Alright everyone, we are back. We have a different spread this time. Still shiny. This time we are going for 15749 is our... Oh, this time we're going for 15749 is frame 1, and frame 2 is 15819. So you can see it's a lot closer. Everything worked out. It's about 1 2/3 of a second away from when you close the menu to when you actually start the fight. We've got our delay set to what it was before, so hopefully this time it'll be right. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and go for it. We're already fairly close. And I will catch you right when I close the menu, because we'll be taking a step forward very shortly after. So I will see you all then. Okay, everyone. Here we are. We're at 15749, so we are going to close our menu. There we go. And we're going to be stepping forward at 15819, so really close. Really, really close here. Alright. And 3, 1, 5, 1, 7, 1, 5, 8, 1, 9. Okay, here we are. Hold forward. Step. Trigger your encounter, and then let's see. Boom, there it is. Falls on the floor. Perfect. Now, I know this isn't obvious, but yeah, there you go. See? Shiny. And also, you could look at my stats here, and you can see that it's in fact exactly what our spread showed. 2, 23, 31, 31, 31, 31, Bashful Dragon, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we got it. Perfect. We're just going to go ahead and catch this one, or rather, I'll catch this one, and it might take a little while, but we'll work on it. And I will catch you back when I catch it. We did it! In a Lux Ball. Phew, that was actually a lot harder than I thought it would be. Oh yeah, I forgot I have Illegal in my party. Yeah, sure. Go on, Illegal. Get rid of your Leer. Anyways, so yeah, that's how you can use Timeline Leap to get a legendary of your choice, or rather, whichever one pops up in a wormhole first. And you can get the stats that you want, much better stats than normal, because you don't have to worry about making sure that the timeline is consistent. Anyways, the next thing up is Ultra Beasts. Ultra Beasts are actually fairly similar in that you can also use Timeline Leap on them, except they are a little bit better in that for them, you don't have to step forward, you can just press A. So I'll show an example Ultra Beast just so you can see. And there's two different types. There's the first time you encounter the Ultra Beast, and then the second time you encounter, because you can catch them multiple times. But I'll show that off as well, so you can kind of see. And I'll just hop over to an Ultra Beast so we can give a full example of that. And I will see you very shortly. And we're back. I've gone ahead and I went into a white wormhole, and we have found Pheromosa? Okay, whatever. Bring up our tool. So, first thing you'll see is that we're set to Ultra UB first encounter, and this matters because if you go to not Kalos, we're not in Kalos, Alola Legendary, you'll actually see all of the Ultra Beasts listed, but you'll see the delay is what 150, 186. You want to choose the first encounter version, which you can see, like, if I go to like Circuitry, the delay is on a stunning 958 because there's a giant cutscene ahead of time. Formosa isn't quite as bad. I think the delay is actually the same no matter if you first encounter or second, but regardless, we set it to your first encounter if you haven't seen it before, and then after that go to Alola Legendary. But other than that, this is exactly the same. We're going to do the same timeline leap. I've already got my frame populated. Let's find a shiny 4 IV frame. Okay. All right. We got a spicy one here. We're going to go with this 67565, which will take a while to get to, but it also has quite good stats. So we're going to go with that. All right. So next thing is just to get up that high, which will take a little while. Also, Ultra Desert, really, really cool looking place. Look at this place. Awesome. Anyways, we're going to hop over to our good old friend Festival Plaza, and we're going to advance a ton of frames, so I will catch you all very shortly. Okay, here we are. We are at a hopefully acceptable frame. So we're going to go ahead and create our timeline leap just like we did before. We put in our initial frame here, reset all this, save frame only, and we're already there. Perfect. Timeline leap, let's see. Perfect. Yeah, great. Our spread is the same, so we say yes, and so now we know that we are going to close the menu at 67503, and now the Ultra Beasts are unique from the other legends in that you actually interact with them. So we close the menu at 67503, and at 67565 we will hit the A button to interact with for whatever this thing is called. Interact with it. So I'm not going to say there won't be a delay, because there could still be a delay, but hopefully it'll be a lot less. Because if you save too far back on the legendary, you might run into issues there. So we're going to go ahead and advance out to the target frame. Oh, right. Yes, here we go. Okay, you can see it. Same thing you've seen before. We're going to go ahead and advance out to 67503, and I will see you there hopefully shortly. Okay, I think we are about one advance out. Yes. Here we are. 67503 is our frame 1. So we are going to close the menu. Alright. And we're just advancing just a few frames here. Almost exactly the 1 second mark. To 67565. 61, 63, 65. Alright, and now we hold down A. And now we just let the cutscene play out because we're completely out of control now. Let's go. Let's see. And yeah, this one triggers really fast. Let's see. Oh, perfect. First try, we get it. So you can see all those lovely stats, and we get to see the whole battle thing. But yeah, it's question mark, because we have never encountered this thing before. We have no idea what it is. All I know is that I'm going to send a very... Well, no, it's not super low level, but... we're just going to catch it. Do I have any beast balls? No, I don't. But you know what? I've been saving this Master Ball. Use it. So yeah, that's all there is to it. Ultra Beasts are slightly easier to get just because of the fact that you interact with them rather than walk up to them. So there's a little less human error in it. But that's all there is to it. You can go out and capture all these legendaries, get them shiny, get them as many IVs as you want. You can wait for that very rare 6 IV shiny frame if you really want to wait a long time. You could just keep resetting your seed. But that's pretty much all I've gotten here. I mean, this is pretty exhaustive on RNG. I'm sure there's something I'm missing, so let me know in the comments if there's something that you would personally want to know. Pokepelago is... you can RNG it, but it's very difficult, and the only thing you can really RNG is the Pokemon that will come visit, and that's really difficult to... you can't even control what kind of Pokemon it is, so I'm just going to stay away from that, but maybe one day I'll do a bonus on it. But yeah, that's what I've got. I'm going to be moving on to Gen 6 after a little bit, and Gen 6 is very difficult to RNG in, but I've had a lot of people actually ask me, hey, Cappy, can you show me some Gen 6 RNG? Because I really don't like myself. And that's cool. That's cool, man. You can join me in abject misery. But thank you all for watching this. I really appreciate all the wonderful comments I've gotten on this. And I will be joining you again soon. And as always, you can watch me do RNG manipulation on all sorts of gens. I just recently closed out a whole big platinum thing using the Cute Charm glitch. But I did that on my Twitch channel, which I'll link in the bottom as well. So come join me. And there's a lot of exciting stuff on the horizon. So until next time, I will see you all later.